I haven't seen the movie Booksmart, but I hear it's really good. According to Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a 97%. However, for some strange reason, I don't know what the audience score is, and there's a good reason for that. Rotten Tomatoes is trying to protect movies from angry fans or from politics or from the culture war, and the truth is, you can pull up any movie like Aladdin or John Wick or Brightburn and see that people didn't really like it, and you can see the audience scores almost immediately. So why is it that Booksmart doesn't have an audience score? Well, the reality is Booksmart is a woke movie. Woke-ish. I've heard good things from people, so I don't want to act like it's a bad movie and you shouldn't go see it. However, the movie is doing really, really, really bad. It's underwhelming. It's like it missed its projections by like 50%. There's a lot of reasons for it. But there's one that seems to get a lot of, that's being highlighted a lot. See, the movie was directed by Olivia Wilde. And 2 years ago, we saw this story from IJR. Celebrities ask Trump supporters to boycott their movies but are in for a rude awakening. They say with the controversial election of Donald Trump, many celebrities, have come out publicly to bash him and claim he's a racist. But now they seem to have completely lost their minds and are now requesting that the people who are ultimately partly responsible for their paychecks boycott their movies. On Monday, Grey's Anatomy actress Ellen Pompeo started a Twitter storm aimed directly at the president. It started when Pompeo noticed this tweet. She then publicly replied, tweeting to her 1.3 million followers, "Newsflash, I don't want Trump supporters for fans Einstein." Wow. So here's what ends up happening. We do have a tweet from Olivia Wilde. They say Pompeo isn't the only celebrity who has tweeted about her Trump-supporting fans. Olivia Wilde, who was starring in 1984 on Broadway, couldn't care less if her Trump-supporting fans boycott her movies. She is even inviting them to, saying, "Trumpy trolls defending racism as free speech and threatening to boycott my movies, please effing do." It got awkward as one of her Trump-supporting fans didn't hesitate to abandon ship, saying, "Not defending racism, but your challenge has been accepted. You are not as important as you think you are, nor are your tweets." So here's the thing. Booksmart came out. It's being praised by critics. We don't know what the audience thinks. I've seen some people I trust say it's actually pretty funny. However, at the box office, in the United States and Canada, Booksmart was released alongside Aladdin and Brightburn and was projected to gross around $12 million from 2,505 theaters in its 4-day opening weekend. The film made $2.5 million on its first day, including $875,000 from Thursday night previews. It ended up underperforming, debuting to just $6.5 million, a 4-day total of 7.8, finishing 6th. That's down 40 or so percent. It was projecting for 12 million. John Wick overperformed. This movie underperformed. Olivia Wilde tweeted about it, saying, "Anyone out there saving Booksmart for another day, consider making that day today. We are getting creamed by the big dogs out there and need your support. Don't give studios an excuse not to greenlight movies made by and about women." One of the big challenges in making movies is that we often hear producers and directors say nobody wants to see a female lead and things like that. It's mostly not true. I don't know if that rhetoric is absolutely true, but we hear that a lot. We can hear Olivia Wilde saying, "Don't give an excuse not to greenlight movies made by and about women." Wonder Woman. Patty Jenkins, I believe, was the director, and it was led by a woman. So what's really interesting is that the movie is flopping, and I don't want to act like this has anything to do with her calling for Trump supporters to boycott it. People are drawing those conclusions. That was 2 years ago. But you got to understand, right? It's not so much about whether or not Olivia Wilde said to Trump supporters, don't watch my movie. Because maybe she doesn't have that many Trump fans anyway. I don't know. It's an issue of the arrogance. And that's summed up in this response. You are not as important as you think, nor are your tweets. These celebrities are marketing tools. Celebrity act. What good is a celebrity if they say, "I'm going to cut my market in half"? The only reason celebrities are verified personalities on TV is because they give brand recognition to a project. If your movie was coming out and they had a no-name actor, you're probably not going to think twice. Celebrities are the marketing asset. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of actors and actresses are really, really good at what they do. Comedians are really funny, but that's why they're called celebrity, and it's not about being an actor. There are many people who are celebrities who do literally nothing. It's because they're brand assets. They're high-profile people that people are interested in for some reason. So if you are a good director or actor or whatever, fine. But when you act like you're this important, please effing do boycott my movies. I think it's fair to say it's possible this played a role. Mostly because there's also this right here. They say there's a review from Vox. Let me make sure Vulture said, it manages to be inclusive and progressive without being precious about anything or sacrificing an ounce of humor. Alyssa Wilkinson of Vox awarded the film a 4 out of 5, writing that Booksmart feels like an evolution of the teen comedy genre. The movie, my understanding, it is supposed to be like Superbad, I guess. And it's somewhat woke. I don't, that's not my opinion. That's actually, one of the critics said that it was like inclusive woke or whatever. So fine. But I have to think about a few things. I don't want to see this movie. I barely wanted to see Superbad, right? The reason I ended up going and seeing Superbad is because my friends told me to go see it. This movie is supposed to be very similar. I read the plot, and it's basically like one of these movies, kind of like Harold and Kumar. It's a, I guess I would call it like a lowbrow hangover type comedy. You know, nothing really happens. It's just like people doing weird things, and the scenes don't make sense. So that's my understanding of it, but I guess people found it funny. But ultimately, you can look at two things. Superbad. None of the actors in Superbad were particularly famous. Like, you know, these two young women who are in it aren't particularly famous. But there is a difference. One is woke, one is not. I have to wonder if that plays a role, right? So there's several factors that really damage this movie. I do believe that getting woke is damaging because regular people don't care for this. So when you market this as woke, I'll tell you what, man, I have been scorned. And I have no interest in going to see a woke movie. If that's what critics are saying about it, count me out. Because, look, it's not just about this one movie. Again, I want to stress, I've heard from people I trust it's actually pretty good. I'm still not going to go see it. Star Wars The Last Jedi, I don't consider to be a get woke, go broke at all. I don't actually care about Admiral Holdo or Rey or whatever. I think it was just really poorly written. The plot made no sense, and it was painful to sit through. Ghostbusters, painful. Captain Marvel, painful. And what happens after I see it and I tell people, hey, I didn't like it? I get accused of every name in the book. You're not allowed to criticize certain movies, so then screw it. I'm not going to go anywhere near it. Olivia Wilde directed this movie. She's been very vocal in the past about her activism, you know, telling Trump supporters to boycott her movie. Why would I want to go see your movie? You're a mean person. You're weird. I don't care about that. Robert Downey Jr. has he done? I don't know if he's done anything like that. And Captain America, Chris Evans, only barely skips the criticism because I have criticized him for his overt politics, and Mark Ruffalo. You know, there are many people who have done big movies that I'm very critical of. However, the movies aren't billed as woke movies. I know that Captain America isn't going to be a woke movie. They did Black Widow very, very well. Captain Marvel was a woke movie. I ultimately didn't want to see it, and then I did, and I just thought it was bad for a lot of reasons. But isn't it so weird that when bad movies get made, when woke movies end up being bad, all of a sudden now you're not allowed to criticize it. All of a sudden now this is a movie made by women and for women, and we have to make sure that we don't give these studios an excuse not to greenlight it. What are we talking about? There's a bunch of movies directed by women and led by women. Why is this always the narrative? So I'll tell you what. Booksmart may be a good movie. I do not want to trash a movie. It's a good movie. I've heard it's a good movie. I heard it's funny. I don't want to go see it. I don't. Because I've gone and seen these movies that have been described as woke. I've gone and seen movies that have been produced by feminists who claim that their movie is the movie for women or something. And it's always ended up being bad. Wonder Woman was just Wonder Woman, and that movie was good. The Hunger Games was just The Hunger Games, and that was good. Ghostbusters was billed as the all-female reboot, and it was bad. Then we had Captain Marvel, which is, they're talking, like, they seriously slam down this narrative about women being lead. It's like, dude, we have this. It's not, whenever they try to use wokeness to market a movie, it ends up being bad. It does. Black Panther was partially marketed by some groups as being woke, for sure. But the movie's trailers didn't play that game. In fact, Captain Marvel's did. All these Marvel movies with actors and actresses that are overtly political don't play the game. By all means, in your private life, say whatever you want. You have my respect for doing so, standing up for what you believe in. But let's just go through it right now. Olivia Wilde says Trump supporters don't go to my movie. Well, great. Think about this. Trump supporters make up around, I'm going to play a game here. This is interesting. Trump's approval around, 45%, right? So if you were to argue based on those hard numbers, 45% of people polled support the president. she told those 45% of people to boycott her movies. And then, strangely enough, her movie's projections are down around that much. Isn't it so weird? So again, please don't make it seem like I'm actually saying Trump supporters boycotted her movie, because I'm not sure Trump supporters would have gone to see her movie regardless of whether they said anything or not. It's also important to point out, for some reason, they decided to launch their movie at the same time as Aladdin. Come on, man. Everyone's going to go see Aladdin. And Brightburn. But Brightburn was kind of bad. I also want to, so I guess I'll leave it there. Look, listen. If you tell 45% of the population, it's actually like 50, because Trump got, well, no, I'll put it this way. Trump got, 63 million, and Hillary got 66. Many of those votes Trump got aren't Trump supporters. They're just people saying, I'd rather have the Republican or something like that, right? So when you look at Trump's approval ratings, and then you tell that group of people, don't come to my movie, don't be surprised. Well, that's literally what happens to your movie. So I do feel like this is a get woke, go broke. I also feel like it might kind of be sad because the movie may be good. Unfortunately, they haven't activated the audience score yet, so I can't even read what people are thinking. Even if the movie got brigaded, which nobody was brigading Booksmart, there's no posts anywhere saying Booksmart, harumph, I say. Why won't Rotten Tomatoes show me what the audience thinks? I don't care about the critics. The critics are wrong, okay? I mean, the critics were somewhat wrong on Aladdin. It was a little bit better than 57%. But you look at a movie like Death Wish, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's where Bruce Willis is a dad getting vengeance or something, and he buys guns. And all the critics slammed it, but the audience loved it. And I'm like, yeah, the movie was very entertaining. It was fun. Why didn't the critics like it? Because the critics are politically motivated. Am I going to trust the reviews for Booksmart from critics? Hell no. Show me what the audience says. Unfortunately, it says, coming soon, and they haven't activated. Why? They're scared of people coming. You know what this says? It says Rotten Tomatoes does view this as a woke movie. Well, I'll tell you what. Stop making woke movies, and I'll go watch them. Because I love going to the movies. I do. Like every weekend, I look at the movies, I hit up my friends, and I'm like, hey guys, here are the movies that are out. And we went and saw Brightburn and Aladdin. We did not go see Booksmart. You know why? It's a woke movie. Look, it might not actually be a woke movie. I'm not trying to say it like that. But all indications show this is a woke movie. Rotten Tomatoes hiding the score, Olivia Wilde directing it, saying no Trump supporters, reviewers saying it's inclusive and progressive, and I'm like, blah, 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 blah. If you're, like, the worrisome thing for me is if you're going to make a movie and politics is at the forefront of your identity and your marketing, well, then you're going to sacrifice good storytelling as far as I'm concerned. Captain Marvel was bad, okay? It was not a good movie. At the very least, you could say that Captain Marvel was whelming. Like, I sat there like, But there were generally some just genuinely cringy parts. And then I'll end by saying this. I know I'm reiterating it, but look. No matter what you say about these movies, they're going to come after you. They're going to call you a man baby. I made a tweet about Captain Marvel being a villain when she electrocuted that guy's hand. And all of a sudden, and a bunch of other people highlighted this too, but all of a sudden we get all these articles talking about man babies, and it's like, oh, heaven forbid I criticize a character in a movie. These people are out of their gourds. So you know what? If that's the result of this culture, don't be surprised when your movie flops miserably, and then you have to beg people to show up, okay? Because you played that game. And and what's really funny is you get these celebrities saying, come on guys, go see it. And guess what? Nobody did. All these woke celebrities cheering on this movie, and they flopped. And, look, they still made money. I'm sure the amount of money they made is still going to be, okay. But they underperformed. And that could be the result of bad analytics, bad projections. But there you go. If combine not getting the money you projected, along with the director saying, please go and see it, they're going to, it's going to be an excuse to stop making movies about women. It's like, oh, please, dude. They're not going to stop. Look, Wonder Woman was a smash hit. You think they're going to stop doing it because of your low-budget film? Please. The arrogance of these people. That's the big thing, okay? That's the last thing I'll mention. They think they're so important. Dude, I don't think I'm that important. I don't even know why anybody follows me. I'm surprised I get any views on these videos. Seriously, I just feel like some dude on the internet talking about stuff. Why would this person be any more important than anyone else? You're not. You're just a person who is on a screen that people watch things. You are just a person. In fact, actors and actresses are the last people who should be celebrities. You literally pretend to be somebody for a living. Sure, I get it. There's a lot of training involved. Things can be hard. It's a lot of work. But I'd rather celebrate scientists, astronauts, firefighters, etc., as would many other people. So stop acting like you're the most important people on the planet, and that you can boycott people. Because surprise, surprise, you're a marketing tool. And when you tell 45% of the people not to show up to your event, or around half, guess what? Your projections are down by about that much money. Isn't that weird? maybe it really is that Trump supporters said, I'm not going to go see your movie. End of story. Oh, wait, I'm done. I don't want to rant anymore. Thanks for hanging out. Stick around. More segments to come later today, and I will see you then.